Well, I got to my second job over 30 minutes early. Um, I think I'm disoriented, as far as time and things. My first job, I have a 5 day mandatory break in service. Has to do with unions and contracts and junk like that. So basically, it's 5 days of unpaid leave. So and I just have my second job to go to, and usually I'm like, as you know, I'm usually like barely able to make a little video before I gotta go up 6 flights of stairs. But today I got a little bit more time, and let's use it effectively. So I think I want to give you some life tips, some observations and assertions, things like that. So I've got a lot of interest in this beard I'm growing, and it's not just the beard; it's the whole hair, head of hair. Um, I had a really good talk with my uncle about it. I had some really good points and things. I can kind of remember what I said, but um, the uh, the gist of it was it's a cost saving measure. Uh, Back when I was in the military, they were obsessed about having a in standard uh, haircut and shave standard things like that. Absolutely obsessed. I mean, they have these regulations, but then they don't pay for it. You have to pay for it. And I wonder how many thousands of dollars over the years are wasted doing all that. To what effect? I mean, the military sustains the idea that you need to have no hair on your face and a nice short crop haircut because of gas attacks. So you put on a gas NBC respirator and have a face seal and things like that. I know in the Navy they base the same philosophy for that for shipborne fires. So you could put on a rebreather and things like that. So your whole life, basically your whole career, you have to be ready for this unlikely scenario. I can tell you, I've never been gassed by anything but intended training purposes. I've never had to deal with smoke inhalation, um, other than at campfires and things like that. So years and years of experience and training for nothing. So anyway, there's that. So I've had a very clean cut. I know what it takes. It takes a lot of time out of your week. And now that I have two careers, two jobs, or two employments, or however you want to say it, I don't have that kind of time. I'm supposed to shave twice a day. What the heck? Luckily, both careers are very unprincipled as far as um, your hair standards. So I'm letting it go, baby. So what other points I had? So I've been caught by this. I'll admit it. Sometimes I can't tell who's male and who's female and who's abstaining, um, based on how they present themselves. But I will tell you, the more beard that a human being has, the less chance that they identify as anything other than male. There are Barnum and Bailey circuses and things like that, and um, deals where they had bearded women and things like that. I'm sure there's some history on that, and so yeah, I mean, nothing's 100% certain, but um, so for that purpose, it's differentiation. Um, I won't ever be likely be misconstrued by people using their assumption diagnoses. And so that's something overthought, overlooked. There's a lot of people that dress in traditional sex defined clothing like pants and even uh, ties and bow ties and suspenders and things like that, but they're crossing the differentiation. And so if they do that, and they also, well, I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. You can look, as long as they're removing things, you can get things down to a baseline to where you are passing for something that you want to be seen as. But when you start adding things like a beard, the ability to do that is opposite. So the more things you add, or the more things you let naturally extend themselves, like hair, the less chance you can be confused. For example, like age wise, and it depends on who you're talking about and what uh, what are the natural tendencies of a set group. But there are some very youthful individuals that never get hair. This doesn't apply to them. It's unapplicable. But there's some groups that are extremely hairy. For example, my group, whatever it is, the Yetis. So I can remove all this and look more youthful, but it's artificial. The natural state is a very hairy, very woolly um, person. And okay, here's another one. I don't want to run out of time. I could talk about this for a couple hours, but so my father developed a melanoma type skin cancer on his face and things like that. And he wore his hair very short through the years. He was you know, under the same conditions more or less that I was, as far as having a military haircut and things like that. And so I can't help but think that had he grown his hair out, it would have protected his face enough to not get that skin cancer. And so trying to learn from the past, which is important, so we don't repeat the same mistakes in the past. I am growing my hair out long to try to forestall that eventuality in my own case. I don't know what time it is. Like, I only have about 20, 30 minutes, maybe about 20 minutes. So, going back to why some military warriors and stuff had hair and some didn't, I think I was vaguely looking at it, but there was Alexander the Great, and he had some great battle coming, and he died at 33 for whatever reason. I think poison or something. But for some battle, he had all his soldiers and warriors shave, and then after that, it was attributed to the victory was attributed to the shaving. And maybe that's the origin of it. And then if you think about the Vikings and stuff like that, the primitive compared to the Roman people they sacked and things like that, they had big old beards. And then, but if you look at Greece, a lot of the philosophers and the scientists and stuff, they had huge beards. If you look at Leonardo da Vinci, his self-portrait, he's got a mass beard and hair and things like that. There's a portrayal of Captain Nemo from Jules Verne's 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There's a artist's illustration. He was very, very hairy. I believe according to Jules Verne, he was from India. So there's some that say when you have hair, the wind hitting things, hitting it's like like the whiskers on a cat. You can sense things in the environment better, and I do confirm that. I'm more sensitive to breezes and sound and things like that. They're like little antennas. I'm not kidding you. It sounds bizarre, but it's not. Um, I have so much hair growth that I even have hair coming out of my nose on the top here. I even have one of those unibrows going. All that had to be suppressed for years and years. To what end? Who is I trying to impress? It's amazing what contortions we put ourselves into, trying to impress people that um, they're probably it's a losing game to do it. Um, what other things? So, uh, it's sort of a temperature regulating thing. Like when I sweat, it cools me. Um, if there's like stinging insects like mosquitoes or wasps and things, they get foiled by this. There's less of a target for them. Um, what else? There's a panoply of things. Reasons why you would want a beard. Um, in primitive cultures and stuff, having a beard would be the distinguisher between a child or a youth or an adult or an elder. Um, the coloring of the beard, if it was white or gray, it showed age. And it's almost like a calendar too. So this is a little over a year's worth of growth right here. I wonder if 5 years, what would it be? Um, so it's in one of my employments. I'm going to be vague about it, but uh, despite all the responsibilities I've had in other situations, despite all the knowledge I have, all the certifications, all the degrees, all the whatever, they hired someone over me, and it wasn't just once but twice, and they had huge beards. So I almost wonder if psychologically it's like an override. Like if you have candidates you're trying to hire and you can't determine what's inside their mind, at least you can determine what's on their chin. And possibly it could be like a beauty contest to where you have a gradient, a mental obsession with how much hair the person has. It could be some kind of deep-seated psychological mechanism to where if you see a person with a lot of hair, you automatically see them as someone that could be an authority figure. Could be. It could have been. It could be some kind of deep tribal uh, 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 stopgap or failsafe or something like that. Um, because logically, you would want the best candidate based on their accomplishments and things like that. But then if you just override that with whoever has a bigger beard, and back then I didn't. I had a very youthful looking appearance, um, despite my age. So there's a panoply of reasons to try going with a beard. Now, obviously, kissing is inhibited. I mean, who would want to kiss uh, a boar bristle brush? So what that does is it frees you up from all the love bug and the getting manipulated, being under Cupid's sway. It allows you freedom from getting diverted into things that are actually your detriment. A lot of you know that or don't know that I'm divorced, and I did everything I could that I knew at the time in my 20s to get married early and get an early start. But now in my 40s, I was such a fool. There's a lot of concepts and things with society and the media and movies and things like that that will ruin you unless you're extremely lucky. And I was a set user case for that scenario. So had I had a beard back then, I could have totally avoided decades and ongoing uh, misery from all that. So, well, where are we on the time? About 15 minutes. So I do have a couple gray hairs, so I'm on my way to becoming a silverback, I guess. What do you want to call? Yeah, gorillas. Like in these gorilla families and things, the silverback is usually an old ass gorilla, and it might have to do with age, or it might have to do with size and strength or whatever. But generally, I mean, the hominid, uh, the hominid or the mammal uh, life cycle and things like that. I mean, there are similar things cross species, like just form and function. So yeah, I mean, oh, I also want to mention something else as we're concluding here. I mean, I got more things I could tell you. Um, I thought about putting some bells and cymbals and things in my beard so it'd make noises and flash and stuff. I thought about that. Anyway, on this next subject. So you notice I have a woodland camo cap on, and it's Caterpillar. This is I got it at a thrift store for like $1, but it's a good cap. It's a trucker's cap. So I've been wearing it more or less when I drive, and I've noticed I can put the brim down when there's like somebody put their high beams on and they're trying to blind me, or the sun glare, um, and then it kind of hides you from the general public a little bit, so you're not immediately recognizable and things like that. So wearing a trucker's cap as you drive, it's actually a good situation. I recommend it. But I wanted to talk about the camo. So this is basically woodland camo. I really like it. It works well. But you can see here on my pants here, it's like a woodland camo without the green, and it's an excellent camo pattern. I wonder if we should have had that in our desert ore. I don't know if that's an official camo or not. It might be like from the African continent or something like that. But it's basically woodland without the green. And it is awesome. I mean, I think it's a good desert camo. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, these shorts aren't military. They're just full military, FAUX. But the cargo shorts, they're really good. I forgot I had some organic bananas here. I gotta eat a couple of these. Hold on here. Wait there. See up there on the 6th floor, way up there? That's probably 7 floors or 8 floors. Like on the 6th floor, I gotta climb up a stairwell to get to work. Somebody didn't have a very good understanding of logistics. We didn't used to have an office up in the sky. We had one down on the floor, ground floor. And someone didn't test out their theory. They just assigned it to us. In the middle of winter, it's misery. Right now, it's just micro misery. So man, these bananas are awesome. The organic ones seemed a little bit more flavor. I don't know why. Well, I heard they're all cloned or whatever, but so I'm gonna conclude this. I know I'm running out of time, so it's a factor. I generally give myself about 10 minutes to get up those stairs. I don't need it all the time. Sometimes I do. So I'm gonna conclude this. Glad we had a little talk. This military industrial museum. I don't know what can I tell you. I mean, I don't make much of a income from YouTube, so I don't put much of an effort. It's kind of a symbiosis. All right, take care.